Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today I'm going to talk about the coming exodus from America. I'm also going to talk about the final events that's probably going to play into this, and I'm going to also in the meantime answer some questions and comments and thoughts people have given to me on Facebook about this very topic. And not only that, but people has asked me my thoughts about worship laws and the coming world calendar thing and so much of this stuff, and I'm going to touch on some of that today too, because that plays into the coming exodus out of America. Now, I want to backlog on history a little bit for me for a minute, and that way you all can see where I'm coming from on this video, and we can link up here in just a few minutes, and then it'll all be crystal clear what I'm trying to say. Back in 2011, I tried to move our entire family to Australia, and we were going to move to Queensland. There was a farm for sale up there, and it was going to be an easy transition. We would sail here, buy there. There was a place that I could work in the automotive industry there. It was just going to be bam bam, and there we go. Things kind of fell apart. One of the most crucial things that fell off the rails was the banning of firearms in that country, not to mention the crime rate that escalated following that. And now here, just earlier this year, I was under the deep impression that the 8th King of Revelation was going to be a demonic impersonation of John Paul II, and many people in ministry work from many, and all of that, many people, different backgrounds from all around the world, there was a huge consensus thought that this is going to be the fulfillment, Revelation 17, in that manner, and sadly we were wrong. Master Yahweh, his timetable will take place as it takes place. I believe that we all read too much into what that was, because many people's come back to me later and said, we think Pope Francis is the 8th king. I'm finally to the conclusion I believe you're right. I believe that he's the 8th and final king, because Benedict's time frame that he was pontiff, when he came in and went out, it was for a short space. So you might ask yourself this question right now: why or where are we going with this video? Well, this is where. There's going to be a coming exodus leaving this country. I have been thought in that manner for many years now. When I first began really hardcore prepping, my first intention was to get out of this country, because I believe America to be the second beast of Revelation, and I believe that there's going to come a time very soon that she is going to force mankind to worship against their will. People that I know and have talked to, the common standpoint that many of us are on is there's going to be a world worship calendar. There's going to be world worship laws. There's going to be a fixed date for Ishtar, Easter, instead of the Creator's appointed times in the Creator's calendar. And you need to check that link there and find out about it now before it's too late to find out about what is the true calendar and true worship times of our Master. These things are going to come to take place, and yes, I believe the RFID chips and all them things will be implemented to help force this, but the focus is forced worship. Not to mention the culmination of final events taking place in and around all this. We all need an exit strategy. Everybody's like, well, I'm just going to bug out to the mountains. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that's good enough. I just don't think that's good enough. And you may be asking yourself, no, wait a minute. You just done a video not long ago saying, you're doing all this stuff to help your community, you're doing this, doing that. Yes, I want to outreach prepping in any positive manner I can. But now what I'm telling you straight from the cuff today, in my personal goal, is 2 years from now, before we see the signs in the heavens, if they are the ones spoken of in Matthew. But nevertheless, NASA has done confirm, there's going to be these lunar and solar eclipses in this sequence, and it's going to take place again for generations. So if these are going to be the ones, and we can possibly look for final events to happen, I really desperately want to be out of this country in 2 years from now. I've been looking at some places. I think for preppers wanting to leave this country, with the exception of the trumpet 2 in Revelation, where that particular event's going to take place, is the only thing that worries me at all as far as this location that I have in mind. But I have really thought after the Australia situation, and had time to really sit and think on this and research countries and places, safe places to go, that I have come to the conclusion, my own personal agenda, that I think the Cook Islands would be an excellent place for, be number one on my list for a place to make an exodus out of this country. You say, why in the world would you pick some tiny islands in the middle of the South Pacific, in the middle of nowhere in the world? There's your answer. It's in the middle of nowhere in the world. You could fly right by it and miss it. Blink and you went right by it. They allow you to have firearms. Tax situation's not out of sight. It is very productive. The gross domestic product, every aspect about the country, religious freedom, low population, prepper's paradise, warm year round. I could go on and on all day. I think for a person that has the assets, if you could acquire a secondary location right now, I would pick there. I'm not financially capable of doing that right now. If I was financially capable like I was a couple years ago, I think I would move tomorrow if everything was right. I can't do that right now, but I have every intention in the next couple years to get my family ready to leave this country, because I believe, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see America take full force everything the Scripture said. I personally feel America is the second beast of Revelation. I love my country. I love my neighbor. But the leadership and the wicked people that are within our government are going to go right along with Satan's kingdom, with Lucifer, everything that he wants done, and they're going to force us to do things against our will. I look to see a world worship calendar put in place. I look to see a fixed date for Easter. I look to see the Creator's calendar outlawed. Anybody like me that keeps Creator's calendar, like, let's say it's a Tuesday at work, and you're like, why ain't Luke here? Well, he goes off the Creator's calendar, from one new moon to another. So he, you see, it was the other day, you can tell he wasn't going to be here, because look, it's that time in the signs in the heavens in the month again. It's the start of a new moon, so obviously it's his Sabbaths have changed, so that's why he's not here. And, you need to check into the Creator's calendar to see what I'm trying to explain there. But yeah, I look to see these things happen, and I've really had it on my mind a lot here lately. And like that little questionnaire I put on the Facebook page, just to get a feel out there for places people want to go. A lot of people out there have Alaska as the thought process, and it's rugged. There's 3 places in the world that will chew you up and will not spit you back out again, and that's Alaska, Africa, and the Amazon. All right, you go there and you might not come back. All right, so yeah, there's definitely places in the world that will be safe havens when this time comes. I do believe that, but the only thing about it is you've got to compute what the trumpets are going to be, the effect of them, and the potential for it affecting where you're going, because regardless we serve the Most High or the wicked, or if we're like the wicked out here, these trumpets are going to affect everyone. All right, so we need to keep the commandments, and we need to pray and ask for the Most High to forgive us our sins every day and watch over us, because when this time comes, we're going to need Him more than anything we've ever needed in our life. And I think you need to be finding a place of refuge to go outside of this country, outside of the sovereign state. All right, and you need to stay away from Europe. You need to stay away from America. You need to stay away from places that's prone to disease. I'm actually going to try to do kind of like something like Joel Skousen done, is I'm going to try to compile a list together, maybe do a video out of it, of the safe places, my recommendations of safe places I'd go in the world, because I won't tell you to do something I wouldn't do myself, because if I had the money today, all right, and the situation's right, I'd done be on a plane, all right, the Southern Pacific, working my way down there, all right. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to prep here and do what I can, because if disaster strikes like Iago again, like Winter Storm Iago, I'm going to be right out there helping my community. I want to help my community now. It's fun to help other people, because the other day when I was talking with the city leaders in our town, I told them, I'm like, hey, we won't have to worry about somebody else coming to help us. You have it now, because we've been able to build this and put the infrastructure there to help one another if something bad happens. But ladies and gentlemen, we can have good neighbors, we can have good people around us, but evil's going to come hunting. The wolf's going to come knocking at the door one day. And I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to have a safe place of refuge. I want you to be safe too. I'm not just saying this to be saying this. People have asked my thoughts. Here it is. Alright, here's my innermost deep heart thoughts about what I would really do with my prepping right now. I am nowhere where I want to be with my prepping right now. And, you know, this might really spin heads because people, you know, I mean, just like this aquaponics video, you might be like, Luke, why'd you spend all that time building something like that if you're just saying you'd walk away and leave it tomorrow? Just for the fact that if I can't leave it tomorrow, I have it. But if I could go right now, I would. You know, that's how I feel in my heart. And the only thing that holds me back on that situation, you know, if the Trumpet 2, I feel is going to happen there in the Pacific, that would put a big effect on the area where I would be living. And not only that, Joel Skousen, if you've seen his book Strategic Relocation, he would throw me under the bus probably because he give Hawaii, I think, a 1 star or even not even a star at all because it's an island. But the thing about it is if you have the means to survive on the island, you won't have to be stressing so bad about people coming to you to the island because it's so remote, and that's the thing. And we need to be able to separate ourselves from the world when the time comes because evil's going to be there. So I'm going to get more in depth on this. This is just something I wanted to get. This is a topic I wanted to get started. I wanted to get this information out there because I know a lot of yous, we talk a lot on Facebook and email and guys you call and I get what you're saying. I mean I'm not a guy to go up to Montana or Alaska. You know, I just don't handle the cold well. For me, it's tropical. You know, would be my place to go. We all have different thought on it, but we need to be getting some kind of exit strategy together now while times are still good. So I've talked enough, and we'll get together again on another video. I know this is something totally different than usually I do on the channel. I mean, I've shared my thoughts on things before, but this is deep stuff. I mean, this is total change of lifestyle, but it's something we need to be getting ready for because it's coming. So until we see you again here, Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you guys have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.